Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing great. Very good evening, all of you. So, last week we had a great PM workshop, and Vijay covered a lot of thought provoking points about the personal growth, about spending time with your family, how to become an empathetic listener, and so many other things. When we grow in our career, we tend to think, okay, I have learned so many technical skills. Do I really need to learn some other skills or not? And guys ponder upon these questions lot many times, but they still are not able to take that single or the baby step which can help them to grow in their career as well. And somewhere they lag behind due to that personal growth, due to that mindset which needs or which force them to think about their personal growth. So Vijay covered a lot of things about personal growth, about how to spend quality time with the family, and how to become an empathetic listener. So throughout the session, he gave so many points which can help an individual achieve success in his life. And most of the time, we think, okay, I have learned these many skills. I'm already 12 years old in the industry. Let's keep on continuing with the same set of things what I am supposed to do. And they lag behind somewhere in their growth, and which becomes a reason for the frustration in their personal life as well. And when somebody asks them, okay, what are you up to? They always have the same answer: I am busy. I am damn busy. Oh, I don't have a single minute for you. But do you really think that being busy is really working for becoming a productive person? That could be an illusion. And Vijay gave so many points which can help an individual to ponder upon those things which can help him to become more productive in his life. So again, we are back with a great set of people from automobile industry, from IT, from HR, and so many other people. They are learning and they are attending these PM workshops on a regular basis. And they're learning so many things and they're trying to implement those things in their life. A lot of people they have implemented these things by giving the speeches, by participating in these kind of panel discussions, and they're seeing the difference in their lives. So let's listen to these people who are ready again to share their key nuggets and the learnings. And let me invite them one by one. Let me invite Kalyani. Hi Kalyani, how are you?
Hello, Ashish. How are you?
I'm doing great, Kalyani. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Definitely. Thank you very much, Ashish, giving me this opportunity. Hello, all. I am Kalyani, and I'm a HR professional. I have 7 years of experience in human resource function, and I love traveling. That's all about me. And talking about today's topic, it's a very interesting topic, and for sure, we are going to learn a huge things. A lot of things at the end. And the topic what we have we as a human being we do every day a routine day lots of mistakes without even realizing what we are doing and where are we moving. So today the topic is all around how to avoid this all mistakes and what are the mistakes we will get to know in further lines. So stay tuned. That's all about.
Awesome. Thank you. Great to have you, Kalyani. Thanks for the introduction. Let me invite Vinny. Hey Vinny, how are you?
Hello, Ashish. Hello, Kalyani.
Hello,
So good.
Vinny.
Hi. Hope you guys are doing well. Hi.
Yeah.
I just want to introduce myself and then I'll start talking with you guys. Okay. Hello. Good evening. My name is Vinny. I hail from Bangalore. Been in the IT industry for 12, 13 years now, and must say for everybody in the IT industry at least, okay, this journey with PIM is definitely a must. And Ashish, I must definitely say you've given an awesome introduction, right? Small things that we so unconsciously do. Your lines just nailed it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Vinny. Great to have you here. And the way you have grown in PIM, it's really amazing. And yeah, let's listen to you more about the growth which you have gone through. Thank you. Thank you, Vinny.
Thank you.
And let me invite Ramit. Hi, Ramit. How are you?
Hello, hello Ashish. Hello Kalyani. Hello Vinny. How are you
Hello,
doing,
Ramesh.
guys? Doing
Yeah, all good,
so
all
nice.
good.
Nice to see you again on the PM session of our panel discussion. So, just to start an introduction, my name is Ramit. I hail from Haryana, a small city town of Sonipat. I am working with an auto sector as a mid-level management and have more than 12 years of experience. So, I really found today's topic is very interesting and is really applicable to our day-to-day life. Human beings are always bundles of mistakes what we do since our life. So this is the time to learn and just realize and move on. So
Great.
hope to see you in session.
Yeah, Amit,
Thank you.
and I think the audience will be eager to listen to you today. The kind of, I mean, the number of books you have kept just behind you. So
Acha,
people are listening.
okay.
People are waiting to listen to you today.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Okay, thank you, Ramit. Great to have you here. So let me invite Alok. Hi, Alok. How are you? Alok, you're on mute. Okay, I think there is some issue from Alok's side. Okay, let me invite Sarbajit. Hi, Sarbajit.
Hi
How are you?
Ashish.
Hello.
Hello everyone. Hello. Yeah.
That's Sarjeet
Uh,
for you.
Good. Good. Hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm Satyajit, and I'm from Raurkela, one small place at Odisha. And I'm an IT professional with more than 13 years of experience, and I love reading books. And I'm really excited that and happy that I'm in this pandemic. I'm utilizing my time to 100% by associating with PIM and UPI. Yeah, and I'm really excited to be part of today's discussion. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Sabjit. Great to have you here. And so, about the session, right? The first research which Vijay gave, right? So, I mean, just to compare the initial mindset as soon as people enter into the industry, right? Any kind of industry, and the comparison he has shown, right, about men and women, and the research he has shown, like about the aspiration and the confidence level. So it was really great, right? And the kind of research it shows that people, or maybe especially in that particular research, women tend to think, okay, let's carry on these responsibilities, right? I have so many responsibilities to take care. So they become less aspirational about their career, somewhere in the middle of the career, right? Although they get a very great start, they have a great confidence, they have so many aspirations, they are so ambitious, right? But somewhere they get that feeling, okay, now the family or the other things are getting priority for me, right? So do you guys want to share any thought on that? Just a random thought.
Yes, Ashish, yes, definitely. You rightly said that there was a very good research which was shown by Mr. Vijay in that particular session. You know, in the start of our career, when we are, just finished our studies and then we enter into our career things, everybody, male or female, are very enthusiastic towards getting the professional career ahead. And gradually, what happens as the experience gains out and we are becoming aged, so we become loaded with our more responsibilities, to start with the marriage life, then goes with the leadership qualities, then with the family growing up. So there are a lot of responsibilities which keeps coming, so in which the normally the females, they get little down towards the less aspirational kind of a thing. It's nothing the gender bias, but this is the scene actually. So that's the what we are going to discuss here, that how to empathize our partner and to help her to
Awesome.
grow further and to retain our
Awesome.
relationship better.
Awesome. Very rightly said, Ramit. And I think it's not only specific to women. I think even I have felt that in my career as a man, right?
Yeah,
When
right,
I
right.
had that kind of experience, like 6 to 7, even I started feeling, okay, maybe, I mean, I think I will get stuck with this kind of growth, and maybe I will not be able to change the companies, because somewhere, even when we get into those kind of things, right, we have the married life and we have so many responsibilities coming on us, right? We start thinking, okay, let's carry on with whatever is going on, right? Let's not become that much ambitious, or let's not have that many aspirations, right? But
Right.
that is actually where our mindset becomes a little bit skeptical also. Okay, maybe my growth is till here only, and I cannot go beyond that, right? I mean, it was not only specific to women, it was, I think it was related to both men and women, right?
Sure, yeah, actually, yes.
There could be one major reason behind this. It's called the arrival syndrome. Okay. Now let me just quickly just talk about what the arrival syndrome actually means. Okay. Uh, it's like the feeling that you have that you've arrived. Okay. And when you have that feeling that you've achieved something or you've arrived, you kind of stop. Okay. You stop growing. You stop doing different things, and that's when the world around us, comes to a standstill. Okay. And that's when we stop growing. Okay, so probably it just happens unconsciously without us even be realizing. That's something I really liked from the entire session that we had this time, the arrival syndrome.
Awesome. Awesome, Mini.
And
That's a great point. Yeah. Yes, Abhijit, you want to add?
yeah, and that is what when that happens, it's like your frustration, right? Frustration is the first thing that's a symptom. If you are getting frustrated more oftenly, then you can think of that. Okay, something is wrong going on with your career or with your with your personal life, right? It's not moving, right? That I mean that's the best way to identify, right? Uh,
Exactly.
yeah,
Awesome. That's a great
that's
point.
it.
Yeah. And Sabajit, coming back to those two fatal errors, right? Uh, which was the key points which he covered as the problem statement, right? So you want to share? You
Yeah,
want to start
yeah,
discussing on that?
yeah, sure. So I mean, what we do is like we start focusing on our career, like as we like if we are stuck or anything, right? We start. We always we try to improve ourselves, right? We always work on ourselves. We always think about ourselves, even if we are talking, right? We always talk about ourselves. I mean, we are so busy, like as you started the discussion, right? That people are so busy, damn busy that, okay, I mean, you have any time to talk? No, we don't have any time. We are too busy, right? Even we are so busy that we are not able to spend time with our kids, with our spouse, right? So we keep on thinking about ourselves, right? Even if we are talking, if your spouse call you for a discussion or just for a small talk, then also you will I don't have time, right? I'm too busy. I'm working for you guys. I have to grow more. If your wife or your spouse will say that, okay, give me some time or something to discuss, then you'll say, I'm working for our family only. But if you just retrospect and just reflect, that you'll identify that you are actually focusing on yourself rather than focusing on other, right?
Awesome.
That is what that is the biggest mistake we do. And I mean, at least in pandemic, that is the biggest mistake, because we keep on busy with something, and we are not able to spend time because we are not going out, we are not going to restaurant, we are not going to any outing, nothing, right? We are not spending any time. So our focus is only only here, right? So
Awesome.
that's the biggest mistake, that is the biggest fatal error, I would say, right?
Awesome. Great.
Rightly said, Sabarjit. As you mentioned, this is the biggest or it's the four most important mistakes we usually do in our daily life. We don't even understand and we don't even realize it. Like we are making this kind of mistakes every day, and like it's a very bad avoiding people. Like we take people for granted. We take our family, we take our people whom we around with, we always take them for granted. And we by the time we have become self-centered, where we think more about us, less about others. We are concentrating more and what we are getting, what we are exactly. So we are always thinking about ourselves. And we have taken people for a granted. And every living being required attention, as Whitehall says. you know uh, Without attention, even the great personality says, a great leader says, the highest if you won't provide a proper attention, and the highest feeling even will get expired if you ignore and if you take for granted. So that happens. I can take an example also here. Like if you have a plant at your home, and you stop pouring water, you start caring for water, what happens at the end? It will die, right? So that happens if we, stop caring about the people whom we are with, or we stop, thinking about the people. We actually don't have to take them granted, but we have to leave alone. So that is the biggest mistake what we are doing, and this is the perfect time to realize it now and to go ahead. That's my point.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes,
Great
yes.
point, Sarbajit, and great point, Kalani. I think becoming more self-centric is creating a problem these days, right? And very rightly said that don't take anything granted, especially your relationships. And that's why Vijay mentioned, like, we are at home, but still we are not at home, right? When pandemic started, we all were excited. Okay, let's give some time to our family, and now I will enjoy the work-life balance, right? I'll manage everything, my career, my family, everything, because I'm at home. But still, we are not at home, right? We are at home, but
Yes.
still we are not at home. I think, Ramit, you are telling something.
Yes, yes. There was very good points shared during that session. One was the vision sharing with our spouse or with our family. You can say that's really empathize. That brings them to the same chair, that you share your things with your spouse and be empathic to her or him, and it becomes a really bonding kind of a situation wherein she or he also participate in your uplifting of your career or any other things. Then you rightly said that we are at home, but we are not at home. This is very much applicable to most of us nowadays, because we are too busy in doing WhatsApp, then your social networking sites. Although we are spending time, people say you are at home, but still we are not at home. So that's really, we must try and improve in that. Then also there was one more point which was shared, is the compliment and the feedback. So there was a very good ratio shared at that particular session, was 10 is to 1. And we must try to give 10 compliments to your spouse, and give one feedback to her or him. And that will really improve the session, because while you will compliment each other, so definitely there will be a kind of bonding will be developed, and a kind of respect will be developed. So that was a very good point taken in that session. Yeah.
Awesome.
Over to you.
Great, great point, Ramit. And I think
Yeah,
it's really difficult to compliment, right? Or
yeah,
or is it
It's
otherwise?
difficult to compliment, yeah.
Yeah, Alok, you want to add?
yeah.
So
Actually, I would like to add regarding the vision sharing, as Ramit rightly said, that it's important to understand each other. Then only we can go to that conversation to share our vision. So, like most of the time, it happens that our chit chat is only related to like some problems, or like it's not related to some vision or what actually where we are moving, means what we actually want for our life, what is the next step. So for that, Vijay sir actually means mentioned four questions which we need to ask if we don't have such type of relationship. The first one is, what is the major excitement of your life? We need to ask with our spouse. And second one is, what scared or what fear to our spouse. And third one is failure of life, means what was the failure of life. And fourth one is biggest accomplishment of life. So these four type of questions we need to ask, so that we can, means this type of question if we ask, then we once we know the answer, then there is we can mold our conversation in such a way, and we can like, act on that. Yeah, thanks. Over to you, Asis.
Awesome. Spending time with your spouse and with your family, that's for the key point which Vijay covered. Great point, Alok. Yeah. And to be very frank, like it looks very easy to devote time, right? To prioritize the time for your family, for your kids, right? But is it really possible? Is it really possible?
No, I mean,
Yes,
no.
houses, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kalyan.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, it's up to us how we design. As we all, I already had a focus on this point. Like, it's completely up to us, like how we design our day, or how we would like to, move forward in our life. If we have priorities in our life, and I feel the family, the spouse, the relations which we have, the people around, they are also in a prior list. So, spending time with them is always important as we breathe in and breathe out. So yeah, definitely it's a place where, we should prioritize. And to how to provide prioritize this, it's very easy. We have a time, a day time, where we can, segregate this time into in a 2 hours chunks, where we get a time as well to spend with our spouse or the family. At the same time, we are concentrating or giving a dedicated time for our work. So we need to take a break as well, as we all are in home for a long time. It's get difficult as well, like if you continuous work, so need a break as well. So that's make the job easy, I think so.
Great point, Kalani. I think most of the time we forget about those things to take a break in between, and we make ourselves overwhelmed with the work, right? Okay, there's too much of work. Actually, work has not increased, but our mindset, like, okay, I'm at home, I can work more, and that confidence and that mindset is basically making us to sit for longer hours, right? I mean, somewhere it is making our mindset, okay, be comfortable because you are at home and you can work anytime, every time, right? So that is basically setting the wrong expectation among our peers also, right? Sometimes, right? So great point,
Yeah.
great point. I think unless we don't prioritize that, it will become a problem for us, right? So better start prioritizing the time for your family, as you mentioned, like try taking a break in every 2 hours, in the chunk of 2 hours, right? Take half an hour break, take 2 hours. I mean, after every 2 hours, right? So that's what the we mentioned, right? Great point, Kalyan. Yeah, yeah. Sarvjit, you want to add something?
Yeah, so I was trying to. I mean, I can tell about my experience as a C personality. When I work, I work more towards perfectionist. I mean, like more towards perfection. So what I end up doing is end up spending a lot of time on a particular whatever task I'm doing, and I'm so focused while doing it. Right. So with that, what happens is like uh, I don't spend time with my family, right? If I'm doing work from home, like at this pandemic, so after I came to know about this like time management and we should spend time with family and all that, then when I started spending time with my kids or my spouse, I mean, at the end of the day, I was feeling quite relaxed and I was feeling very good about myself in comparison to the day when I was working so hard. And though some little bit satisfaction was there, okay, I was able to complete that task so it quickly or efficiently. But somewhere I was not internally, I was not feeling good about that. So, and Vijay has given a lot of good tips about how you can, spend time with your kids, spouse, uh, in chunk of hours, right? So, a chunk of times, right? Yeah, that was very good learning from the last session.
Great point. Great point, Sarvjit. Yeah. Anybody?
And
Yeah, Vinny, please go ahead.
yeah, so another thing that we all kind of, miss out or tend to ignore is like, what the reality is. We just fail to accept the reality. And
Awesome.
this reality may sound a very different word, but when you expand the acronym, it's wonderful. Okay. I was amazed at what Vijay kind of explained what your reality could actually mean. Okay. Now, if I go about expanding what reality is all about, it's all about rebuilding yourself, right? It's all about making yourself so that people find it easy to work with you. Okay. Start building laser sharp focus, right? And then be an inspiration to people around you. Be inspirational. Then be target oriented and always feel young at heart. And you see how things around you will start changing. And I think this was the highlight of the entire session that we had. It's all about the reality.
Right. Awesome. Great point. I mean, the definition which you shared, Vinny, about reality and which you shared, I mean, that's great. Rebuild yourself and easy to work with, right? So those are few things like which we need to, I mean, put in our personality, right, somewhere, because while focusing on the technical part, maybe in our job or maybe about our work, we sometimes tend to forget about these things, like the kind of importance these things bring to our personality or our working style, right? And sometimes we feel a sense of accomplishment also, that okay, I was busy throughout the day, and that means I have accomplished something, right? But that is actually creating a wrong illusion among us, right? Great point, Vinny. That's a great point. Yeah.
I would
You know,
like
I
to add one
really
point, Ashish.
please, please.
Okay, okay, Alok, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, one more thing, like actually we need to ask the right questions. Like most of the time we say to people like how I am looking and all, but we need to actually on social media or wherever possible, we need to ask the right question, like I am an encourager or discourager, am I easy to work with, and
Awesome.
means I am a good listener. So these type of questions we need to ask with our means like relative or like in our professional or personal life, so that actually we come to know our reality. But we are oppositely we are means asking some rubbish question which is not mean to in our life. So like there is saying, like some person saying that khali hath aoge and khali hath jaoge, but it's actually not true. If you see, means after our death, means people who are great like Abdul Kalam, Vivekanand, so after their death also, we remember him because of their ideology, because of their work, because of their hard work. So we need to live our life in such a way that means after our death people know us by our means what we have done to society, as well as means what is the what was our ideology.
Great
So
point.
thanks. Over to you, Ashish.
Great point, Alok. Like, I mean, living the life and becoming inspirational, right? And even after your death, I mean, people are getting inspired from your life and whatever you did. So that's a great point, yeah. And one more thing Vijay mentioned, right, in the workshop, like how to say no, right? मुझे ना
Yes,
कहना
yes.
नहीं आता, मेरे से ना नहीं कहा जाता, right? So that was the key point. So anybody want to share thoughts on that?
Yeah,
How to say no?
actually, actually saying no is a very difficult task. If you talk about in a professional term also, and if you talk about personal level also, because you never know, do you say directly no to somebody, and people may feel hurt. So it's always like we must say yes, we will try to do, and let us do yes, and then we will say okay, we'll try to do, and things like that. So that should be the objective of saying, type of saying no. And there was a very good point which was raised at that time, that ease to work, which I really like, because that's very much applicable in professional life also. When you are a person which are very easy to work with, so people will approach you, well, with confidence. They will keep discussing with you. If you listen to them, that the listening power also come in that. Then your ability to communicate also comes into that. So that becomes an ease to go person. So let's say Ashish is a very easy to go person. So I like to approach him. I like to discuss with him my problem. I like to have a more and more conversation with him. So that really matters in both kind of things. Wherein the problem resolution is very fast if we discuss with such kind of people. So let us try to be the ease kind of a person.
Awesome. Great point. And that actually works, right? Even if you are in your corporate, right? Even if you are at home, right? If you have the style to say no, and that means without disturbing other person or without making her or him angry, you can easily, I mean, communicate your things, right? Because most of the time we see like, okay, people come with this problem, yeah, मैं ऐसे ना नहीं कर जाता. I am not able to say no to anybody. If somebody is asking me help, right, or somebody is asking me some information, or somebody is approaching me for some solution, right, I am very much, it's very much difficult for me to say no at times, right? And most of the time people have this problem, right? Great point, Alok, I mean, Ramit, like the way you illustrated the thing that first of all try saying yes, right? And just you can say, okay, let me see what best I can do out of it. But instead of directly saying no, we can always go with this approach, so that it will actually help to make us easy to go person, right? Great point, Ramit.
At least we will be able to think of the solution. We will say yes, so let us
Right.
just think of that solution. Then probably the things are not working, that no is always there.
Exactly,
But
exactly. Great
for a
point. Great
solution.
point. Yeah. Vinny, you want to add? Anybody else?
On
Yeah.
that, Ashish. Yeah. Go ahead.
Kisko,
Sorry.
anybody feels, I mean, difficult to say no?
No, only thing is like in a team, if you are leading one team, and then you know someone say uh, come up with some idea or something, right? So and he's up with full excitement, and you feel that, I mean, by listening to his idea you might feel that okay, this will not work, but yeah, just listen to him, and then just say yes. So next time he'll come up with more idea. Maybe you can start asking question, right? After you put a idea, okay, we'll do this. then you can start asking questions, so that you will not hurt his ego and his feelings, right? That is very important while we talk to anyone, or someone presents something to you, and let's do this. And I mean, this is, if once his ego is hurt, then he will never come to you. Right.
Awesome. That's a great point.
Subject no, no is like, no is something like a full stop. If you say no
Right.
something, then there is no communication left actually.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
it is something we are just closing the communication channel with somebody by saying just no and no. So let us be yes, and then we can explore the things.
Great point. I think great point, Ramit and Sabir. Like always ask open-ended questions, right? Instead of closing the conversations, invite the person to share the ideas, right? Instead of demotivating him, encourage him, be an encourager instead of a discourager, and help him to share his ideas. I mean, it will make him more frank with you, and he will also have the open mindset to share the ideas with you, right? Great point, Sabir and Ramit. Vinny, you want to add something?
Yeah, I was saying, whether a yes or a no, that's secondary. First, always be an empathetic listener. I think that's the key to anything and everything in our relationships, whether it's professional or personal, or either ways, just be an empathetic listener.
Right. Great point. Great point. Vinny. And I think there were few other exercises also which were conducted next part of the session. Right. If somebody approaches me like, do I say I'm busy, right, or do I say please tell me, or listen patiently, and if it is in my range, I do it. So there was an exercise, right? Anybody want to share any thoughts around that? Who wants to share? Sabjit, you want to share thoughts?
Can you share, put some point, put across some points so
Yeah,
that I
sure.
can.
So there was an exercise where it says like if somebody approaches you for some problem or some help, right? And what is your first statement? Do you say I'm really busy, or do you say like okay, I'm please tell me? Or the third option was like okay, I listen patiently and it is in my range. If it is in my range, I can do that also, right? So there were 3 to 4 options for that. So I
Right.
was just
So,
telling.
yeah, I mean, as Vinny was saying that we have to listen to the other person, right? So, if someone come with some problem or anything, right, we have to listen to them and then understand the situation, right? So, it's very difficult to listen to people, because we are all, again, we come to the same point that we always think about ourselves, and then we keep busy in our world, right? So first we have to listen to them, understand them, and go in their shoe, rather than giving the solution quickly, right? We
Awesome.
we we try to we tend to give solution, right? We listen to a problem. Oh, iske paas, I have the solution ready. This is the solution. But before that, as Vinny was saying, that empathetic listening, right? So that empathy is not like we have to give solution, but we have to be in their shoes and then understand their situation. uh,
Awesome.
and then maybe you start giving the solution very slowly, softly, right? So that I mean, that is the key. Like sometimes I was going through some article where they were saying that in some cases, even without saying anything, we tend to solve others' problem. If we listen carefully, sometimes we solve other problem, because the way we listen, they sometimes reflect and find out the solution there themselves only, right? So that is another way. I mean, that's quite magical. Empathetic listening is quite magical, right? So yeah. uh,
Awesome. Great point. That's a great point. Like I always go try to get into their shoes and don't become Mr. Fix It and don't create new problems for them. First, be an empathetic listener and try to empathize with them what they are trying to tell and be in their shoes. And that's a great point, Sabjit. Yeah.
and it's
And
not easy also. It's not easy also, like, to do
it's
that,
not easy.
right? Yeah.
Great point. Great point. Yeah. Great point. I think I mean, we are almost done with the session. So, any one last message you guys want to share? Maybe Sabjit, you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, uh, only thing is, pandemic is a great time to utilize. Like as Ashish was saying, that when it started, we all thought that, okay, uh, I'm going to win, I'm going to do a lot of things, but don't get into the trap of time mismanagement and small thing ego, and don't I mean utilize your time. If you are struggling, or if you are in stress or anything, if you are thinking that your time is not getting utilized properly, you can reach out to any of us. And this is a great platform, uh, Unlimited Potential Insight and Peak Impact Mentorship, where you'll get coach, mentor, and so many friends who can inspire you to grow further. That's all from my side, and thank you very much for this great learning session discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Sabrijit.
you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Sabrijit. And yeah, Vinny, you want to share any last message?
Sure. I think Sarba has covered most of the things. Okay, I could just reiterate the same things again. It's an amazing platform, no doubts about it. The last weekend session that we attended on the two fatal mistakes that we do in our lives, I think was by far the best session that I have attended so far. Right? It's been 5 months that I've been consistent with PIM, and this was my favorite session. Small little things we just tend to ignore it, but then they can have such a big impact in our lives. And talking about PIM and Unlimited Potential Insight, I think it's a great platform to just rediscover your lost self, for you to grow, and become a better version of your own self. Over to you, Ashish.
Awesome. That's a great point. So what Sarba and Vinny are trying to tell, now vaccines has already been rolled out. Okay, you have very less time before this pandemic ends, right? And we are going to back to the normal very soon. Let's be hopeful, guys. Let's be hopeful, right? The people are getting
Yes.
vaccinated these days, right? And if we are still thinking, okay, like, now let's wait for another 6 months, then I'll start for my something for my personal growth, right? Or learning some new skills, right? I don't think that next day or that tomorrow will ever come for them, right? Great point, Sabajit and Vinny and Sarbajit, they both are coach here, and they are helping a lot of people in the personal growth. Thank you, Vinny, and thank you, Sarbajit. Yeah. So, Alok, you want to share any last point?
Yeah, yeah.
Any last
Hello.
message?
Also, I would like to say that yeah, I am associated with PIM for last 5 months. So I would say like means since like when you start means when you start the session. So like if you consistently join the sessions, then you also implement all these learnings, because we get like new learnings, new insight in every session. Like sometimes for related to like our personal life, sometimes related to it's our professional life and leadership skills. So like EQ skills. So various things we are getting. So once we consistently attend it, then only we can implement in our day-to-day life. So I would like say like yeah, so it's right time to join the PIM session, so that like we have the like balance in our life, as well as we can think in a positive way and apply those learning also. Yeah, over to you, Asif.
Awesome. Gaining that growth mindset. I mean, PIM is the best place to have that or to gain that. Great point, Alok. Thank you. Thank you, Alok. So, Ramit, any last point? Any last message you want to share?
Yes, yes, Ashish. So regarding the today's session, the key learnings was the, thinking about you. That was the major thing. It should not be. It's actually the thinking about others the most, and then accepting the reality is the another key lesson what we learned from here. And I really thank PIM for being a part of the journey for during this COVID time at least. Where really it helped me out in building the confidence and building the speech things and in gaining the knowledge, inculcating the habit of reading books. So a lot of things are there. So really thank you. And I'm the part of
Awesome.
PIM since last 3-4 months. So
Awesome.
thank you. Thank you, Ashish.
Ramit.
Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramit. And we all are waiting for your speeches again
Yes, yes,
in the upcoming
definitely. You will
session.
see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramit. That's a great point. Thank you. Yeah, Kalyani, you want to share any last message?
Yeah, definitely, Ashish. As we discussed in the today's session, we had, a discussion all around, what mistakes we done. Hope most of the people have got fruit of it and make good utilize of it this session, where we realized by the all discussion, what mistakes we actually do in a daily life and how we can avoid this. We are most try to be focused on action, what we are supposed to do. Like, we need to be action oriented person instead of getting or thinking about problems, what problems we are having facing, and the mistakes what we are doing. So once the moment we realize our mistakes, we need to take action on it. We are not supposed to ignore it, or else there is no point listening all the sessions. So we need to take action for everything what we learn. That's how we can reach our goal and get all the desires in our life. So that's my point. So thank you very
Awesome.
much, Ash.
Awesome. That's a great point, Kalyani. Like, be an action-oriented person, and that was even covered in the session also, right? Very nicely by Bijay. That sometimes we have that habit of doing the procrastination, and we fell into that zone. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it after 6 months. But that is basically making us more prone towards the bad things, right, in our career or in our life. Right? Great point, Kalyani. And my key takeaways from this session, like, be an empathetic listener. Always try to ask open-ended questions. Don't say no upfront. Try to understand the problem and ask open-ended questions. Maybe you might not reach to the solution, but at least that guy will become comfortable with you sharing his problems or sharing his ideas. And always focus on your personal growth. So those are the few key takeaways which I want to share out of this session. So I hope we added so much of value to the audience today by sharing those key nuggets and those learnings from the PM session about personal growth, about empathetic listener, and about sharing the about giving the compliments instead of giving the
Right.
feedbacks, right? Awesome. Thank you, Ramit. Thank you, Sabjit. Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, Alok. Thank you, Kalyani. Thanks for sharing
Thank
those key
you.
things, and thank you for sharing those great insights with the audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you everyone for
Bye
joining.
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.